Good afternoon. And now we'll be continuing with the project life cycle. As life cycle indicates, life cycle is continuous process. A project life cycle may be viewed as a process through the which a project is implemented from beginning to end, which is from start to end. What all the activities are going on, that will be viewed in this project life cycle, where we'll be dealing all the activities involved from start to end. This process is often very complex. However, it can be decomposed into the several stages as indicated by general outlines in figures. We'll be showing the figures which will be showing how the breakdown of structures will be done, how the project is divided into subcategories. It is very complex analysis of the projects that will be divided into, decomposed into several segments, and that will be shown in the diagram. It is important for the owners to be aware of approaches, that is method, which is most appropriate and beneficial for the particular projects. The owner must know which is a best process for execution of their projects. They can individually identify what type of methods should be used for execution of particular buildings or building for particular structures, that may be of public, private, any type of building, where if the owner is known to the process, then he can say that the process will be beneficial to the owners or not. That can be defined from the process or method. The project life cycle flow chart is given as, note down this one or take a screenshot of this one. The market demand. What is market demand? That should be known to owner. What is the part of a life cycle? What he needs to produce or need to construct depends upon the market. Depends upon the market requirements only, the owner will be planning to execute the respective structures or the respective productions. And the data required for this will be of definition of project objective and scope. Depends upon the market demand, the project, what type of project should be there, what is the objective, and what will be the scope of that project will be defined, depends upon the market. Second stage is conceptual planning and feasibility studies. एक आइडिया है का स्कोप पता है अपने को. Next is how you need to plan for that. What is the feasibility study for that? What all the possibilities are there? That should be done, and that will be done on basis of conceptual plan or preliminary designs. The conceptual ideas or the plans need to be prepared and preliminary design should be ready. Then only you can go ahead for the other components like design engineers. For design engineers, the conceptual plan is basic with the specification, what type of execution should be there. That is a basic component. Next is procurement and construction. Once you are ready with the design and the engineering aspects, that is specifications, the procurement and construction may be started. For that, the completion of construction will be the stage where the ultimate aim of procurement and construction would be completion of construction. Once completion of structure is done, the startup for occupancy. That may be the flats may be sold for in a residential building, or the people who will be staying for that building, they also know occupy these structures. and then the occupancy of the structure will be there, or the startup for occupancy will be there. Once they occupy this, the place which is created for them, they need to accept that one, acceptance of facilities. Once they accept, then operation and maintenance will be there. Once they started living in particular structure, then the continuous operation of that structure and regular maintenance of that should be involved. And as they go ahead in the life of the structure, fulfillment of useful life is there for that particular structure or not will be verified. If suppose at the initial stage you are agreeing for a building is life of building is 60 years, 70 years or 80 years, and within 50 years your building is decomposed or the building is about to demolish or the life of building is ended, then it is no use. Therefore, the life of building should be useful life. That is whatever planned, that should be completely done. And then once the useful life of structure is done, then you can dispose the facilities or demolish the structure. This is complete life cycle of the any project. Not only the execution is done mean the project is not done. Project is done only after its life of useful life completion. Until and unless from the start of the market demand to the end of that particular project, till the death of the project, we call, like the simple word is born, from the birth to the death of the ideas, the project, from the starting stage to ending stage, that is from the disposal of facilities. From market demand, what is the demand? As per demand, your planning is done, feasibility scope is studied or not. Once all these are done, then what will be the execution process? After execution process, what will be the regular maintenance, and then it will go for final disposal after the useful life. This will be the life cycle of the project. Continuation to the project life cycle. The project life cycle consists of 4 stages. The classification is done on basis of the different stages of life cycle. One is initiation, second is planning, third is executing, including monitoring and control of the structure, and evaluation. Some structure may not have the disposal component. The project is up to the evaluation part only, they may be there. Depends upon the agreement it goes. The initial phase begins by defining the scope, that is from the market demand, what will be the scope, purpose, objective, resources available, deliverable, time scale, and structure of the project. Just for example, if you see the last year, February, March, the demand of some particular medical kits, that may be PPE kit, that may be mask, or that may be sanitary. The demand of these components were initially very high because there was no production and there was a high market demand because of the pandemic situation. At that time, the cost of these components like PPE kit or mask or the sanitary, the components rates were too high. But now the production of mask, PPE kit has been started in local areas and then the cost has been reduced. Though the situations have changed, the requirement of these materials is still there. as compared to last March and this month, the market rates have been reduced because of the market demand. At that time, demand was too high and the availability of products were too less. At the initial stage, but at that stage there was no resources also to make it available. As the time goes on, the resource made available and the components were prepared locally and then made it available to the public. The initial phase always needs defining what is the scope, purpose, objective, resources availability and deliverability, and time scale, how much time scale is there. If you are planned something, the production of the PP kit in the March and now we are producing, then it is of not a good profitable business. If you see business point of view, that was, if you are produced at that time, then it would have been more profitable because of the requirement at that time. Now the requirement has been reduced as well as availability in the market has been increased, then you will be not having that much of scope. The next step is to develop a business case, including several possible solutions and the cost benefit analysis of each. If you are constructing any building or if you are going for manufacturing of any component in the world, you need to think of business case also. How much business I'll get, what is the benefit out of the production or for the construction. अगर मैं एक बिल्डिंग रेसिडेंशियल बिल्डिंग रेडी कर रहा हूं, जितना मेरे को कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉस्ट हो रहा है उससे कम मेरे को प्रॉफिट मिल रहा है, तो देन नो यूज ऑफ इट. If nobody is buying your flats, then no use of it. The locality people are not preparing your building, then it is no use. How the market demand is there depends upon that only. You need to execute your projects and you need to sell it. You need to make a business case that whatever you are going to sell, that should be profitable to all. The analysis of this business case should be done well in advance so that the benefits will be there in the future. A feasibility should then be carried out to ensure that the chosen solution is feasible and has an acceptable level of risk. For what project you are going to do, that should have feasibility selection, so that the people will be having option to select your project or to get your project or purchase your product. There should be acceptable risk involved in your project. It should not be like high risk component you are producing. Sometimes it may be sold or it may be not sold. Such production will be always lead to high risk. But if you are regularly producing something like daily use materials, then some of the other component everyone will buy. It may be less purchase or on an average purchase, but the level of risk will be very less if you are producing something like everyday using material. A year back, if the production of mask, production of PP kit, the production companies used to limited production so that the limited use was there. Now the production has been increased so that the people are using it for each and every one. Therefore, the market demand has been increased and production has to be increased for the specific materials. Similarly, with respect to the medical kits are the tablets which with respect to the control of COVID and now vaccines of that. Or if you're talking about a building, if you are constructing a high-rise building in very remote area, where the people staying will be very less, then it will be no use, because people will be addicted to the normal life because they are having enough land over there. If you are constructing high-rise building in the cities where the vertical growth is important, in such cases only they will be buying the flats. If you are constructing a high-rise building in Mumbai or Palghar or where the crowded area is there it is acceptable. If you go any remote area where the villages, everybody will be having their own land, their own buildings. In that case, if you go and construct a high-rise building, nobody will buy your flats because the area availability for people is more over there, and construction cost as you sell the flats in the Palghar city or in the Mumbai cities, the minimum cost are like 20-30 lakhs. In that amount only, if you go for remote areas and if you sell the flat, nobody will buy. Why? Because they'll be getting land as well as building in that amount only. For their separate bungalows, they can buy. They'll be not preparing your flats. Likewise, the feasibility should be there for your acceptance of projects. Where you need to do that should be known to you people. Next step is to define the terms of reference, followed by appointment of the project team. Once you are done with your project planning, then you can appoint the project team. Previous case, all plannings has been done, and in next step, we need to appoint people for executing that project. That is, project team has to be appointed. And next final step is to carry out the page review before seeking approval to procedures or to proceed. Before starting the execution of project, you should get approvals from various agencies, that may be from different private sectors or from government sectors. Approvals should be needed to start any projects. That will be the step-by-step procedure of how the life cycle of project will run. That is, first step is to initial stage. Second is of initial stage should be extended to the analysis. Next step is to develop as a business case with a feasibility study and the acceptance of the project to the normal demand of the market, and then to define the definition of what you are going to execute and appoint the project team and get approvals done. Now we'll be dealing in detail with the step-by-step procedure of life cycle. There are 4 stages of life cycle. First one is initiation stage. That is first stage, where we'll be starting with the project. That is initiation stage. Initiation phase involves defining the purpose and scope of the project, the justification for undertaking it, and the solution to be implemented. It also involves recruitment, the project team, and carrying out phase review before proceeding to the next stage. Initiation stage, you need to have the idea what you are going to do. You need to justify for undertaking that project. Your project, what you are going to execute, that should be justified and should have solution to implement. How you are going to implement that project, that design should be available with you. And then recruit the people for a project team, and then have the review amongst the project team before going up to the next step. That will be the initial stage. That is previous step-by-step we are explaining. A business case is developed describing business problem to be addressed by the project, the alternative solution and potential cost and benefit associated with each should be explained well in advance, so that in case any changes needed in your project, that has to be altered and that has to be implemented. But whatever alteration you are going to do with your project, that has to be acceptable, and what will be the potential cost involved for execution of that alternative project, and from alteration also what will be the benefit, that should be known to us. That will be at the initial stage only. A feasibility study is then completed to ascertain that likelihood of alternative solutions likely delivering the stated benefits in the business case. This is used to identify the preferred solution, which must be approved before proceeding. If your business case is having 2-3 solutions for single problem, in out of 2-3 problems or 2-3 solutions, what will be the feasible solution for that? What will be giving you the most benefit? What will be the accurate process for executing your project? That has to be compared, and which is most prepared one will be selected for proceeding the next stage. The initiation stage continues as this stage includes the project vision, objective, scope, deliverable project organization, and implementation plan. As initial stage only, you need to have the project details, that is, what is your project, what will be the objective of your project, what will be the future scope of your project, when it will be delivered, what is the project organization, how many people will be involved, how you are going to execute that organization, and implementation plan. These all components should be ready at the initial stage only. Once the project is defined, it is time to appoint the project team. Now I can have a project as execution of a high-rise building. To execute that, I need a backup team. Once your plan is ready, once your project is defined, then you need to appoint the project team. The project manager is recruited to take up the responsibilities for the project and recruit the remaining members for the team. If you're going for execution of a project, the project manager has to be identified first. He will be taking up all the responsibility involved in the execution of particular project. Once he is appointed, then he can appoint other members required for the lateral work to be completed for the project. So he will be a responsible person for the project. Therefore, the project manager has to be appointed first, and he will be selecting his team for execution of particular projects. Finally, the page review is carried out to ensure that all of the required activities have been completed and to provide formal approvals to proceed to the next level of projects, that is execution stage. Once the project manager and his team, plan of action, organization chart, the scope, all have been defined, then final review will be done. Just to verify all the required activities are considered in your plan or not, and to have the formal approvals from owner or from government sectors to start up with the next level. Next level is the planning phase of project. First is initiation stage, second is planning stage. In the planning stage, the planning phase involves creation of set of planning document which will guide the team throughout the projects. The planning stage comes in the paperwork. The planning phase completely write everything on paper. The key stages which need to be followed for planning phase of the project are a comprehensive project plan. What is your project? What is the plan of project? Resource plan. What are the resources? That may be of man resource, money resource, machinery resource, method resource. All those resource requirement will be another plan. Next is financial plan. Whether your finance is fully available at the initial stage or partly available at the initial stage, or your payments will be done after completion of the project. What is the financial stage? That should be known at the planning page. Next, quality plan. According to your specification, whether you are achieving the project or not, that will be decided on the quality basis. Next is risk plan. If anything happens in the project execution, in such cases, what will be the risk involved in your project? And if it happens, how you will be overcoming those risks? How you are completing those risks? That has to be planned well in advance. An acceptance plan. Once your project is done, the people will accept, the public will accept your project or not. That will be acceptance plan. Even if your project is ready, you need to do advertisement. Then only people will come to know about your project. Then the acceptance will be there. For making it acceptable, you need to have some plans for a publicity purpose. You would have seen many public articles or the stickers in the local trains or anywhere in the streets, or with paper ads. To make it acceptable for public, they will be advertising it so that the people will be aware of what is going on around. And if it is a good component, then they'll buy it. But to make it acceptable, the people should know it first. The publicity should be there with respect to what project is there. And then communications plans. How you are communicating with the project, that has to be planned well in advance. That will be of planning stage first component. In the comprehensive project plan, your one by one stages of the planning stage is being divided as first one is comprehensive project plan. It is critical to success of the project. It is identifies work breakdown structure, WBS. Separate topic only will be having in the upcoming slides. What is WBS? That is work breakdown structure. Work breakdown is your project is one component, but that has to be divided into sub-components. Or subcontract has to be assigned for execution of your projects. That is nothing but एक work को divide करना है, break करना है into substructures. That is work breakdown structures. Of the pages, activities and tasks to be undertaken to complete the project. It also identifies the sequence, duration and dependency of the task and the resources and financial expenditure required to complete the project. The comprehensive plan, the total plan, or the master plan, which should have the work breakdown structure, how the complete work is divided into subparts, how will be executing, sequence of execution should be known, duration, how much duration it will take, and dependency of task. Like material supply is done, then only you can go for construction purpose. That is dependent. Until and unless you get the material, you cannot start the construction activities. Similarly, until and unless you construct a foundation, you cannot go for superstructure. This is dependency of the project. Superstructure construction is separate task, foundation is separate task, and material supply is separate task. But it is depends upon one on each. That is, until and unless you supply the material, you cannot start with foundation. Until and unless you complete the foundation, you cannot go for superstructure. Until and unless you construct the superstructure, you cannot go for the slab, or you cannot go for finishing activities. That is dependent. Likewise, some of the dependent tasks will be there in your structure execution or in your project execution. That should be known. And what are the resources available with respect to financial expenditures, that has to be known. Next, second is of resource plan. That would be, should give the detailed assessment of resource requirement to the undertaking of the project. It should list the required labors, materials, equipments, and also quantity, the amount of each resources. How many number of labors are required per day? Or first 15 days I need 10 labors, next 15 days I need 50 labors, and next 50 days I need only 2 labors. Likewise, you need to divide, you need to plan the what quantities are required, not only the resources, what quantity of resources are required, that is also needed. अगर मैं excavation पे कुछ excavator लाया हूँ, that is needed for 10 days or 15 days, or next year till the completion of project. Excavator is needed for foundation only, na? Once the structure is started execution, excavator work is completed, then you can send that equipment to some other places. No need of staying the holding back the equipments for the completion of project. That particular equipment work is done, then you can send that equipment to some other projects. Similarly, still you are in the excavation stage or in the execution of your substructure. At that, in substructure, there is no need of cranes if it is a not so deep project. Or if cranes is required at that point, you can use for particular duration and you can send back to the other projects. That is what the resource planning is need to be done. What all the resources required and what quantity of resources are required. It should also give the resource usage schedule. मेरे को ये दिन में मेरे को ये equipment चाहिए, ये material चाहिए, ये labor चाहिए. That has to be usage schedule. मेरे को 5 तारीख को 10 laborers चाहिए, which are skilled in the execution of particular work. That has to be planned well in advance. So that is the usage schedule. मैं ये 10 लोगों को इस दिन यूज करूंगा particular job completion के लिए. That should be well advanced planned to give the project manager with a complete view of total amount of resources needed in each stage of work. First stage में कितना material चाहिए, कितना labor चाहिए, कितना equipment चाहिए, and similarly the stages may be divided depends upon the per week, per month, or per 15 days, or per quarterly for 3 months. Depends upon the requirement, you can go ahead for the execution of the project and make it available for all the resources. Next is financial plan. Even in the financial stages, it describes the financial resource requirement during each stage of the project. The total cost of each item of labors, equipment, and material is to be calculated, as well as the total cost of undertaking each activity should be known. At each stage, you need to make a payments that may be on the labor's charges may be given for daily basis or weekly basis, a monthly basis. That has to be planned well in advance so that you can pay as per the requirement of the labors or as per your specifications which have been described well in advance to the project manager. Next is quality plan. List of quality targets that need to be achieved to ensure the project deliverable meet customers' requirement. Quality should be good, or the specific as per the specification your execution is done or not. That has to be checked by quality targets. Like for foundation, I need to use M20 grade concrete. This is a target. Whether they are using or not, that has to be checked. Similarly, for slab, I need M40 grade. For column, I need M30 grade. Likewise, the targets will be there. That is meeting or not, that has to be verified. Quality assurance and quality control activities are scheduled to make sure that the required level of quality is achieved throughout the project. Quality assurance and quality control jobs are now created just to check the quality of the project. Whether the quality of project is meeting the requirements or not, that has to be verified by the quality assurance and quality control activities. That has to be scheduled. Like daily, you cannot demolish the structure and check the quality. It will be frequent quality checking process. That may be of for every week if you are checking the concrete quality, every week if you are checking the reinforcement quality, or for every load you are checking, or for each and every RMC truck you are checking the quality, or randomly if you are checking the quality. That will be depends upon the quality assurance and quality control team, which will be planned well in advance. Next is risk plan. Identifies all foreseeable project risk and rate them in the terms of their likelihood of occurrence. You need to identify what all the risk involved in the project, and you need to rank them as per the likelihood, which is high risk, which is low risk, which is medium risk. That has to be ordered, which has been listed out, and sequentially they have been ordered for what will be attentive first, which has to be attended first and which has to be attended least. The potential impact on the project, the risks are ordered and actions identified to reduce the likelihood of each risk and minimize the impact on the project. Ultimate aim is to there should not be any impact on the projects. Therefore, what all the risk involved in a project that has been listed, and on prioritized base, which has to be attended first, which has to be attended last, which has to be attended the middle stage. That has to be planned and executed to minimize the impact of risk involved in the projects. Next is an acceptance plan is created to ensure that the customer's acceptance is required for each deliverable product are produced by the project. It is acceptance is always the market demand, or the people who are accepting or buying the product, those has to be accepted this plan of action or the projects. The acceptance plan provides the schedule of acceptance reviews. How many are choosing for your projects? That is also acceptance review. Next is of communication plan. The communication plan describes the information to be provided to the project stakeholders to keep them informed for the progress of the project. A schedule of communication event and activities is drawn up to make sure that the right information is communicated to the right people at the right time. Because the stakeholders, that is owners or the buyers of particular project, those has to be informed well in advance, or the scheduling will be done for meetings and they will be informed in the meetings with respect to what all the problems arise in the execution of particular projects, or what is the risk involved, that has to be brought into notice to the stakeholders. Finally, the phase review is carried out to ensure that all of the required planning activities have been completed and to provide the formal approvals to proceed to the next page. Once the final review is done, to ensure that the planning activities is completed, the formal approval will be granted and the next page of work will be started. That is the continuous involvement of the project. And you can start with the next page, that is execution page of the project. The execution page will be taking in the next class. It's a bit theoretical components are there. It will be, if you are taking everything in one day or completing the all topics in one day, it is easy to digest for you people, as it is a last class of the day. Already 3 classes are done. This is a 4th class. This will be not easy to digest if I stretch continuously. Therefore, we'll be ending up class here only for the day. If you have any queries regards to